coming from the west, it was coming over the top, it was coming from three directions, and nobody knew what was going to be safe.
It's just like if you can imagine apocalypse.
It's like a blast furnace.
Unlike any place else apparently in the world, this little stretch has these deep canyons and this ridge up here, and the Santa Ana wind's blowing, and what happens is the fire actually gets pulled downhill, and they'll move anywhere from 60 to 90 miles an hour.
When you risk everything to live in the place you love, you are living on the edge. Malibu, California. Sunshine and surfboards. This community of 13,000 residents with median home prices in the 7 figures seems like a utopia. But year after year, the lethal combination of high temperatures, low humidity, and dry combustible brush come together to create spontaneous wildfires. Longtime Malibu residents Harvey Ruderian and Arnold York have braved more than their fair share of fires, including one of the most catastrophic of all, the old Topanga fire.
This was my sweet, humble abode before the '93 fire.
The fire started in Topanga, and this came roaring over the mountain. We were here at the paper. Somebody came down, a retired fireman up the road says, hey, it's coming down Las Flores. You guys better get out.
When you live in a place like this, nature actually binds you together, between the floods and the earthquake and the fires. It burns down and rebuilds, burns down and rebuilds.
You feel it in your chest before it arrives because the fire begins to suck up the oxygen and it takes all the moisture out of the air. And then as it gets a little closer, there's like this whirlwind. There's a roar you get from the fire, which is sort of eating up everything in front of it.
This whole mountain ridge back here, especially all along the top of the ridge, was all ablaze, all ablaze. And I could barely breathe.
We lost total, overall, 400 plus houses. It was bare. All you had was this, like a graveyard of chimneys standing there.
Yeah, that was quite a loss.
The day after, you had nothing but the clothes on your back. I mean, we never change your underwear. And so you're sort of, everybody initially is in shock.
Even after suffering unimaginable devastation, the residents of Malibu choose to remain.
Fires are gonna always come down here. One of the things that binds us together, in a sense, as a community, is that we're all here, doing everything we can to prevent the next inevitable fire.
So the question is, why in God's name would anybody live with this kind of risk? And, it's like, why do people live along the Mississippi? It's beautiful, but it floods. Why do you live along the barrier islands? They're gorgeous, but hurricanes come up from this now. So people can kind of live with tolerable amounts of risk if the payoff is good enough. And it's the price you pay for living here. I've lived in Malibu for 40 years and I love it. We're a small town, and we're a small town just next to a large urban center. It's beautiful, it's neighborly, the weather is most of the time gorgeous, and it's kind of fun. There's sort of, there's a spirit to Malibu. It's kind of a small town with cachet.
No, the reason I live here is because what this does to the mind, at the end of the day, when you come back home and I can see the dolphins and the whales, it's a Shangri-La.